go. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing it street, geek, nerd, soul. What is up, my people, today? Yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, Dope Folks. And right over here, you know him, you love him, you've bought his books. That's right, Jason Reeves of 133Art's. Say what's up.
Hey, I'm not looking at the camera, but I don't even really look at people when I'm talking to them in real life. So, I mean, deal with it.
Yeah, just deal with it. So,
Yes.
the reason we're doing this video because you made a post that I was like, oh, this is some great conversation. And I put the link for the original post down below. You guys can check the original link, but I'm going to read it for you. Unless, Jason, do you want to read it? You can put it in your voice, or I can read
I
it.
can do it. I can do it. Let me pull it up.
Because I mean, I
And
got it. You know what I'm saying? And
let me
I'll put
pull
the
up my
link.
own
I'll put the link
spot.
to the actual post in the chat so you guys can like see it, and it'll be, of course, up on the replay as well.
Pull up my own spot. All right. We ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it says, I don't want to be known as the Black artist, writer, creator. I want to be known as a good artist, writer, creator. I don't expect people to buy my books because I'm Black, blah, blah, blah. And that was me quoting some stuff I had heard or read,
And I've heard stuff like that too.
You hear it all the time. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I go, my words, I swear it's the biggest, stupidest trick ever pulled on Black and POC creators. Do you know how subjective art is? It's very subjective. I'll answer that question for you. It's super subjective. It might be the most subjective thing, the most subjective idea ever in history of humanity, whatever. Do you know how big someone relating to a work by seeing a commonality in it is by purchasing it? It's a big thing to see yourself or something of you in a work. It's one of the driving forces, if not the main driving force, of you purchasing a work or admiring a work. All right. Do I want people to enjoy what I create? Hell yeah. Yeah, totally. But they won't know that until they pick it up. Don't ever disparage people contracting you, that's hiring you for work, or purchasing your work because you are Black, because of that fact. Supporting because you are Black, and dare to be creative in industries that have shut you out from the beginning. And I say, everybody reading this, you better buy my shit, because and I stand by that. Buy my shit. If you like Black people and you Black, or you're an ally to Black people, or you have a Black cousin or your grandma or whoever, buy my shit for that fact. I have zero problem with you doing that.
Yeah.
Also, P.S. I already know I'm good. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. So
that was cool.
I saw that and I was like, yo, I'm so tired. Because I've heard that before. I've heard like, I don't want it. And there's this, it feels like there's this faux honor or something in saying it. It's like, you think, I think people that say it feel like this or get this false sense of nobility, like, I'm above my race. It's like,
sounds so noble, right? Like, and I feel like that's kind of why it's a trick.
Yeah.
It sounds really noble to say, I want to be a good auteur or a good, I want to be good at my job. And look, it's what I was telling these cats, some of these cats in the comments, like, yo, I wake up every morning and try to be the best. Every morning.
Word.
Every single morning. It has nothing to do with me being Black. It's my own work ethic and my own drive. But people assume that because I'm Black, because of racism, white supremacy, and a long history, especially in the West, of black people are lazy, right?
Yep.
So people assume because I'm black that I ain't in here working hard. And I know you looking behind me and see all them papers tossed around on that shelf.
Yeah.
That's today's work, partner. Like, we've been wilding. The printer just stopped. I just turned it off to do this show. So, you know, I got Morpheus laying down behind me. He even fell over. I took pictures. So it's work going on in here. I'm offended that people think because black people are black and because, you know, some country fool with a sheet on his head or some corporation or some politician back in the days told some idiot that we was lazy. And then, I mean, this country is built on our labor. So how are we lazy? You can't have it both ways.
Once they couldn't get it for free no more, then all of a sudden we was lazy.
Right.
But so there's this. What sparked the statement besides just like hearing it in general, or was there like an article, or was there like an interview that you read? Like what kind of sparked the post?
What started some of it, I think, the homie Greg, shout out to Greg Elise,
yeah.
did a post. It was like a funny post. It was supposed to be funny. And it's that meme with the guy and he's with his girl, but then there's the other girl in front and he like turns around, he's looking at her, and his girl is like, dude, you know, like, what are you doing? And
I know when you talk about, I got words for that, but I was like, I'm gonna stay out of it.
It was modified with President Superman. Is that like the Superman dude, the black Superman?
Mm-hmm.
And the dude is like looking at black Superman, like, and the idea was, the joke was, black indie comic fans, and the girlfriend that was like, yo, what are you doing, is black indie comics.
Yeah.
And the bad one that he was looking at was Marvel and DC or whoever making Superman black or making, you know, Spider-Man black or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it was saying they get very excited about that and they look over black indie comics.
Yeah.
So that was part of it. But then we all laughed at that. I laughed at it. I thought it was hilarious. Whatever.
I laughed, but I was just like, I have my notes.
Right. Well,
but I laughed. I was like, I laughed. I got notes, but I laughed.
If you're a creator, it's like facts, man. Like, and this is not. I don't think it's creators necessarily pointing a finger in a rude way. I just thought it was a lighthearted joke about something that's actual factual, right? So a few people got butthurt about it, right? And they started making their own post about it. And, you know, we all in the same community. So I see some of those posts and I'm like,
because I heard really? Some words.
Like, yeah, I'm like, really?
I heard some words, and I'll say, I get the meme. I get the meme in general. The words that I've heard were, or I guess the notes that I have could come from at least new black media perspective. The same could be said about black creators in an instance where, you know what I'm saying, you come on ABC Black Comics chat and you go in there, nothing. But you get covered in some white media joint and you posting all over your IG. You sharing all over your Facebook. You share, and I'm like, yo, the person that brought it to me, I was like, yep, it happens. I know it happens, but I'm gonna let that meme live though. I was like, well, I understand. It's like, that's why it goes back to the statement, like, yo, we gotta build, we gotta use them group economics.
We gotta collectivize, right?
Collectivize.
Right? So I feel you. I have been one of the dudes that, like, I post big things. I mean, I'm not egregious with it, but like, if I show up on, you know, I don't know, CNN or whatever, I'm gonna post it. Hard. So I feel,
not saying that. I'm just saying, I'll use an example. I'll say this. Say I was to do a video on a couple of things that are indie, and it could be, say, three different 3 different items that are indie.
Right.
Views is like 5 views. The people that I tag in it, that I cover in it, they ain't sharing it. They ain't even like, yo, thanks for covering me. No, nothing.
My
Then I
bad.
go do Invincible, and people
Uh-huh.
be like, yo, why you covering Invincible? Don't you know I got something coming? And I'll be like,
Right.
ah. I'll be like, come on now.
I
But
feel
I
like
get you.
it's the same. It's fruit of the same tree. I feel
Yeah, it's
you.
the
I feel
same.
like there's a
It's that
slight
same
difference because
energy.
your job is media, though. That you have to post about those things. Now, I give you credit. You don't only post about those things.
Yeah.
I mean, this show right now is representative of what I'm talking about. Like you catching all of us, right? Anybody
Yeah.
who's amicable to being on the show, you put them on here, like creators, music, everything, like the scope. So you doing the Lord's work right now. They got some black bloggers, man, who don't post nothing about us. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah. That's why.
that.
That's why I was like, on the real, between fans and media, this joint does have. I was like, this meme does have credence. Like this meme isn't like a straight up lie.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just that the people that came to me, I was like, yeah, that one don't really apply to us because we put in work. But
No, I don't.
back to this thing, why do we feel the need to be like, I've transcended the race. I'm an artist that don't worry about. I'm an artist that I don't have to worry about my color. Cause me, I'm like, look, I'm black. I have a black perspective. I'm here. My channel is about black family. Look, if you got some black friends, black cousins, kids, whatever, send them my stuff. Because I know, I've said it many times, the black market, the black community is large enough that I don't have to go asking nobody else for no money. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying.
Right.
43 to 46 million solo people is enough people for all of us to eat. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get on code with each other.
Right. I feel like it stems from, it stems from a genuine place. I feel like genuinely everybody wants to be, at the top of their craft. Everybody wants to do well, right? But the trick is that on the flip side of that statement is anti-blackness, right? It's I'm having a brain fart right now. What is it is detracting from our blackness, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing inherently wrong with leading with your blackness, right?
Yeah.
You can still be good. Blackness is good. It's a good thing. That's why I lead with it all the time. Like forcefully lead with being black. You know what I'm saying? I in my experience through this industry, there's nothing to gain by pushing your blackness to the back. And not that I'm saying that everybody who has said that is doing that. There are some people that say that shit and it's like they mean well. But for my part, I feel like the inherent strength of what I do comes from that blackness. Like people that know me, it's black people. People that come out, people that show out, that's black grandmothers, man, black mothers. Black dads, little black kids. Like
Hashtag
those
black
are the
dads.
yeah, man, black dads all day. That's the people that have purchased my work and have showed love and have come out to like the shows and like dapped you off and all that. So it's my community. And I feel like if we talking money wise, like it's untapped. And I feel like us chasing those other dollars, those other markets, we always come back beat up, embattled, clothes torn up and whatnot. And I made that statement is part of my conscious choice to work within the framework of our community. And I haven't been disappointed yet, you know. Don't get me wrong. That meme, while hilarious, there's truth to it. But then on the flip side of the meme,
because I've seen the people that meme is talking about. I know exactly who they talking about.
People at the convention and they walk right past your table.
They
don't do interviews with you. They don't spend a red cent. And they see you. You know what I'm saying? So that meme has truth to it. But on the flip of that meme, let me tell you from experience, Black Comic Books Day, that meme does not apply there. At Keithan's show, Kid Comics.
That's a cool joint too.
Go buy some of that stuff. At Keithan's show, that meme does not apply. And my mother-in-law has a saying she taught to my wife way back when she was a little girl. She said, you have to set yourself up to succeed. It's important that you do that. And there's another thing that I keep with me. I don't remember where I heard it. It is maybe Issa Rae or somebody. Go where you're celebrated. You need to be there. And so from my perspective, by employing those tactics, by setting myself up to win, and by going where I'm celebrated, I'm rarely disappointed delving into the Black aspect of the comic book industry, right? I go to Black shows. I go to shows where I know a lot of Black people are gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm online, most of the people that I interact with as Black people, I'm Black, so that's how I act too.
Yeah.
You know, I get hood, whatever. So if I set myself up in that way and I go where I'm celebrated, then I can sell some books. And I don't have that bitterness that comes from trying to chase down a Spider-Man fan at a Wizard World show. You know?
Word.
I've done that. I've been on that side and it's whack. So I stopped doing it. You know what I'm saying?
So real quick, shout out to Fillmore Pockets, shout out to Kid at Heart and Fillmore Pockets. Fillmore Pockets, thanks for rolling through with the $10 super chat. Fillmore Pockets still got one of the illest names because everybody eats B. Everybody eats.
Right.
But to go on your thing, talk about going to where you're celebrated, going kind of like chasing your own market. I remember one show we looked at and this is of course government data. So, depending on how old it is, I think it was like 2018 or 17 or whatever, census data. And at that time, there was like 43 million some change Black people, right? So I was like, imagine 1% of 1%.
Right.
Imagine this right now, Jason, if 4,370 people bought a comic book from you, that changes the revenue for you drastically. And that's not even 1% of Black people. Like, that's what I try to explain to folks. Like, we don't all, I do want us to all be on code, but we don't all have to, because this idea was like, well, we all got to be unified or we ain't going to move. No. Imagine the girl, the lady on Etsy she's selling, shoes or shirts or whatever. She makes her own custom scarves or something like that. And 4,000 people buy a scarf from her. That changes things tremendously for her revenue and for her business. You know what I'm saying?
That's my ministry.
So it's like, it don't take everybody.
Every time I'm sitting on the panel, that's my ministry, right? I'm like, your success as an entrepreneur, as a creator, or as a team of 3 or 4 creators is different from a multinational conglomerate. You don't have to sell 1 billion or 1 million of something to make a little scratch. You know what I'm saying? So hustle up. 100 people.
Like, because I told we were talking about, I was like, all right, so when I sell t-shirts, I get somewhere between like say $8 to $15 per shirt, depending on how the split is, right? If 4,000 people bought a shirt from me, changes drastically. I was like, I was like, all right, my Patreon. I was like, if everyone who was a sub to me gave $2 in Patreon, that's enough for me to actually consider doing this full time. Like people don't
Right,
understand because when you do group economics, I could give $1. You could give $1.
right,
They could give $2. They
right,
could give $3. They could give $1. And
right.
once you get like 4,000 or 5,000 people together, you moving like someone who has, the Marvel budget, but you ain't got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? It's
And
like
you get
you can
10,000
use
people to
your
jump into
community to say, hey, I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Right.
Instead of kind of trying to disassociate yourself from them in some weird kind of like, I
You,
don't know, like nondescript way.
what's weird about it is, okay, what do you want to write and draw about? You know what I'm saying? What do you want to
Hmm.
write music about or whatever as a black person? And the stuff, the not necessarily the type of music or the type of writing, but the stuff you're gonna put into it that's from your background, that's 9 times out of 10 probably similar to the rest of us as black
Hmm.
people's background. We're gonna
Yeah.
understand that. And what's weird to me is, another thing that's weird about that whole disassociating yourself is other communities don't really do it.
Nah,
Like other
man.
communities be here.
They kind of nourish their community, and
Right,
they foster that relationship over and over.
right. I
So,
remember I was talking to one of my homies and he's Mexican. And we were talking about like television networks and whatnot and stuff. I was like, man, I wish we had like a black owned television network that kind of understood the stuff that I wanted to watch and blah blah blah. And
mhm.
I was like, you too, right? I mean, you want, you probably want the same thing. And he was like, I mean, Mexico has television networks, right? Like he was like, oh no, slow down, my African American friend. We got shit. And and we all laughed about it. Don't get me wrong. It was kind of hilarious, but at the same time, it got me to thinking like, yo, why don't we embrace ourselves like everybody else embraces ourselves, and then we could have a foundation and have something, right? Like other
Yeah.
communities have things, and we a lot of times, and I'm not trying to get preachy on my black folk. I love y'all. I really,
No, you
really
gotta do what you
do.
gotta do.
Just these are just my thoughts and my observations. But like, it's just one man's opinion. I could be ignorant, but that's determined by the viewer. But like, part of what 133 Art is a foundation for black people comics wise. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, that's my contribution. That is what I'm, that's my mission. That's my ministry or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So I just feel like that's where our focus should be, right? I mean, we could walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, but it'd be nice to have a foundation.
Word,
It'd be
word.
nice to have somewhere where young black artists can go and say, let me throw my portfolio at that place, because they're gonna understand that I'm drawing black people, and they're gonna
Mhm.
understand what's marketable about that. You know,
Yeah.
so many years, in my personal experience, black, I was told that black wasn't marketable, and now
Yeah.
as a grown up, as a man who's a dad and is entering middle age, uh, I'm realizing that that's always been bullshit. You
Always.
just we just need to be the spearheads of that movement of those ideas. Like, the reason it hasn't been marketable is not because people don't consume it, it's because we haven't been the ones to steer it.
Good point.
So whenever my homeboy gave me a
Really kills it.
real good quote recently. Bill Campbell, shout out to Bill Rosarium. Go buy some books from Rosarium too. uh Bill said, he said, the quote was, if you want to destroy the movement, be at the forefront. Now, who gets all the accolades today? Let's say today, who's getting all the accolades for having the most diverse black content in TV right now. What's the show we talking about? All day, every day. Who's at the front?
Yeah, it's if we're gonna talk about who's at the front right now, you got to be talking about Marvel because they're gonna be talking about Falcon,
We talking about Black Falcon and White Panther.
Black Falcon, and White Wolf.
Now, I ain't about to go off on Black Falcon and White Panther today because that's
But
not what we're talking about.
real quick, big shout out to Big Step for the super chat. Thank you for rolling through.
Hey.
Glad you showing love. Thanks you. Hope you enjoying the convo. I did want to before since you don't want to go off on Black Falcon, even though I'm not super mad at Black Falcon, but I'll say this.
I ain't either. I'm not super mad at it.
Yeah, there's a point, and I talk about this as far as because I'm an artist as well. Visual identity is a huge deal because I'm like in of course marketing and all that stuff. And you said, do you know how big someone relating to the work by seeing commonality in it is it? I mean, and it is to them purchasing it, and that's true. That's the main thing. Trust me, all day long, businesses, brands are trying to relate to you or seem relatable so they can sell something. Why would you not want to be relatable to your own brothers and sisters? Right now, Cadillac is trying to relate to people in the movement by having Tamika Mallory sell Cadillacs. All right?
Right.
Right. To varying degrees of social success. But because I have my issues with it, but my antennas be up. You know what I'm saying? But everyone is trying to relate to the consumer somewhere. So why would you take away a very strong commonality just to have once again
commonality that you have? It's your built-in commonality, and and that's why that's why I keep saying it's a trick, because that's your inherent commonality. That's your birthright or whatever they call it. And then you turn away from that part, though. That part.
That's the trick. Look, it's a trick of the enemy. Don't be having. Look. I've said it. There's a couple of things. We got gender wars and all this stuff. Don't let white supremacy tear you away from your largest benefactors. You know what I'm saying?
Lil Nas X didn't go down to the devil to kill him for you to turn away from your blackness. You didn't do it.
Did that, so you didn't have to go through that. Yeah. Oh man, he said Lil Nas X did not go kill Satan. So I ain't even touching that. I ain't even messing with that. I can't do it today. Maybe on Wednesday we cover hip hop on Wednesday. Maybe on Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah, maybe on Wednesday.
Saying,
but he ain't kill Satan for that.
It's like.
Do you know how hard it is to kill Satan?
It's crazy. That's why it's such a crazy thing to me. Is like, yo, you're gonna turn away from the one thing that doesn't cost you anything. Like we pay all this money to learn all these skills and all these things. It's like me not drawing. You know what I'm saying? It's like me. I'm not gonna draw and promote my work. I'm gonna have other people, take the reins of that. That's ridiculous. And that's why it feels like such a damn trick.
Yeah, and I'd agree it's a trick. Like, so to add on to this, I would say, please consider. You know what I'm saying? If you're someone who's kind of like either said that before or been like, you know what, I like that statement. It's got a point. I'd say consider how important visual identity is. Consider how important it is to relate to your readers and your viewers. And if it wasn't important to be white or black or whatever, then the white comic book readers would not be so angry when something was changed. As far as, look, it's important the color you are. Trust me. It is the things you draw and stuff, it matters to the ones that are buying and selling from you. And
it's good. It's good to be different. It's good to have differences. as long as we take the negativity and the violence out of being different from each other, when you get rid of those things, man, it's fun to hang out with people that are different from you and get different perspectives and learn about other people, man. That's cool stuff. Like
Yeah.
I and there's nothing
remember,
wrong with that.
I'm trying to remember. There was a entrepreneur. I cannot remember his name, but he was on IG Live one time. This was a while back, but he said most black businesses can be bootstrapped, meaning like in our own community, we can build up our. So you know what I'm saying. Especially, and I know this ain't comic books, but especially black women. I know you have been treated a certain way whenever you go to get your pedicure, your pedicure, your manicure, or your hair care items. We actually we can't really affect that industry as much, but you have the power to bring that industry to its knees. There are black women that have pedicure shops or black men that have pedicure shops. Find a black hair care place to get it from. If you get, even as simple as buying toothbrushes and toothpaste or socks or something, find somewhere black to get it from. Small stuff makes a huge difference. This is revenue that this company never had before. You know what I'm saying? I keep my links, at least in most of the lounging episodes, down like We Buy Black and alafia.com and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There's many places to buy just your everyday regular stuff like laundry detergent. You know what I'm saying? It's like work, do a little bit of work. Right. At some group economics, it'll make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Make you feel good. You be like, I got a black toothbrush. Right? That's right.
Well, and a lot of some of it is on the consumer, right? Like, there's a thing about the attitude that like people like me have, is saying that we're judging the consumer and saying like we shouldn't judge them for like buying Black Superman or whatever, and it's not a good way to build a base judging people who would probably consume your work theoretically, whatever. And I'm like, I get that, but at the same time, as a Black consumer myself, the onus is on you sometimes to go and find your people, right? To go and find what you want to support. You know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily, I don't feel like it's judging people to alert them to an idea of, yo, maybe check yourself a little bit, right? Like the only way you learn is if somebody like teaches you, right? And I'm not saying I'm the world's teacher and shit like that, but at the same time, again, like it's okay. It's what is it? It's an admonishing of love. It's not like
it's not like we're not particularly angry with you. It's just like, no, look,
I'm not angry at all because I've seen the love. I've seen the love. I'm just saying for those who would look towards Black Superman first, maybe kind of look back towards us. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been continually dissatisfied with Black Superman.
Yeah, true. Like you'll be like, yeah, we got a Black Batman or something. And then once they start writing them, you get angry about it. It's like, well,
I mean, how many caveats in your own mind have you made for your favorite Black character not doing or not being written the way that he could have been had had somebody
on Twitter,
like Greg or
people
Robert
on Twitter got mad at me just because I called out how Marvel handled your girl Monica. And people was out there joint trying to cop please out there.
That's what I'm saying. You done seen the flame wars I done got into behind stuff like that, man. Like when I had like a 48-hour argument about how Marvel handled Monica in WandaVision. So
it's like, look, guys, on the artist side, I don't think that you're gaining anything by being like, I'm not a Black illustrator, I'm just an illustrator. I honestly don't think you gain anything from that. Actually, I think you kind of catch like like a silent L for it. But
it depends.
on the
I guess it
flip,
depends on the connections of the person.
well, yeah,
Sometimes.
I guess it does. It depends on the connections of the person. True, but I feel like you could do better by recognizing like, yo, what makes you unique in the market and what
Exactly.
gives you a commonality with a base that is looking for content.
Well, also, black folk is kind of in the zeitgeist now too. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They love us now.
like black folk is mad in the
For a
zeitgeist.
second.
So well, black folk are continually in the zeitgeist. I
Yeah.
think the issue is that some other folks get mad and then they kind of downplay it a lot. Like
True.
it's like in the cycles, right? Like in the 90s, man, we was hot. And then in the early 2000s, we wasn't so hot. And then it started to rev back up again, right? But black folk are, because we're so culturally relevant and because we make up, pop culture things like slang and dances, and you got ball players, and you got Hove over there and Beyonce, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Seasons the cultural landscape, if you will. So we always hot. So
And
why would you turn away from that?
Keith Jones from Kid Comics came through. He said Jason starts all his flame wars. Oh man! Shouts to Tyler Bennett.
I don't start. I was given this world. I didn't make it.
But with that said, is there a final, I guess, note, thought, suggestion that you would have to either the consumer side or the artist side of this argument?
I say I'm gonna quote the sublime, the Grand Master Wesley Snipes from Passenger 57. Always bet on black.
True that. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, makes sense. That's right. Always bet on black. We're gonna leave it on that. Look, if you're an artist, bet on yourself, your whole self. Don't excise some random piece of yourself to, I don't know, get a imaginary notch on some type of honorary belt of nobility. You know what I'm saying? And then on the consumer side,
who giving out
bet on
candy for
black.
that?
Yeah, what are you getting your like Noble check from not accepting your blackness or something? Like what do you win from that?
Not as if the execs or the consumers can't see that you're black when they see a picture of you. So
yeah,
ultimately futile.
thank you. And then on the consumer side, yo, bet on black. You know what I'm saying? You want black things? Look, you can find everything else. All right, you can find everything on the internet, and you be finding it. All right, so use them Google fingers and find you some black. People have put together tons of lists of black this and black that, and black comic book artists, and black people that make sneakers, and black people that make T-shirts and hats and soap and whatever. Look, you can find whatever you need that needs to be black, and you can start supporting your community right now. You ain't got to feel bad about it. You can feel good. Be like, you know what I'm saying? Let the dollar circulate. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, oh man, Tyler Bennett, I'm going to read, because I know Tyler Bennett wants me to read this. Tyler Bennett said Gary Owen said he was black at his podcast. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. I know. I'm sure he did. We it's Gary Owens, but I bet you won't be able to say that with Candace Owens. But anyway, before we get out of here, Jason, where can they find you?
133art.com is the hub, and we are 133art on all across social media. Also, if you want to get Mad Black comics, if you're a retailer or a bookstore, go to bigdistro.com. BIC distro, distro.com. And it stands for Black Indie Comic Distro. We lead with black over here.
That's right. And you can check those links in the chat right now. See that 133Art. Holla at them. Of course, NERDSoul. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you see. Hit the thumbs down if you ain't black. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing with you, man. Look, everybody can hit the thumbs down button. It don't matter. But with that said, podcast if you want to listen. Spotify for that music because I do got some new jams coming. Don't sleep on your boy. And we're going to leave y'all with P.L. Parker Lewis because he has helped the bear out, and Arcatron because the dude is dope. So from us to you, thanks for watching, and peace. That's right. Thanks to the super chatters. Thanks to Tyler, Blurtish, Keithan, Thomas D, Kid at Heart, Back to Love, all y'all. You know what I'm saying? You had Big Step 83, 85 come through. Had Fillmore Pockets. Man, look, come on. Y'all know how we do, man. We'll holler at y'all tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Black Lightning and how bad it's gotten. Peace. Yeah.
I'm the man, yes, sir, that killed a bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Parker Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all came from hunger pain.